Hello, dear students. I am Mohammad Tajammul, and today I am here to deliver a presentation on Introduction to C Programming. So, in this lecture, what we will discuss today, we will discuss variables. What are the variables? Why variables are used, and what are their benefits in the programming language? Okay, as well as in the program. Then we will discuss constant. What are constants? How many types of constants are there? Okay, and how constants are used in the program, and why constants are beneficial in any program. Okay, then we will discuss some difference between the constant and variables. Okay, and finally we will discuss the keywords. What are the benefits of keywords and how many keywords are there in C programming language? Okay, one more thing that we are going to discuss, we will discuss the list of keywords. Okay, then we will discuss the benefits of keywords. Okay, and their utilization in a program, how they are utilized in a program, and how they are how they are declared, or how they are used actually. Okay, one more thing that we will discuss, we will discuss the complete list of keywords in the C programming. Okay, so let us move forward. So these are the prerequisites, means before moving further, okay, we must know, or somebody, or any student want to know some properties of the algorithm. Okay, he or she must know these subjects, or he or she must have some knowledge of these subjects, or knowledge of this subject means computer fundamentals. Okay, he or she must have some knowledge about the basics of computer. Okay, means basic knowledge about the computer. Okay, or the that is also called fundamentals of the computer. Okay, knowledge of programming syntaxes means what are the syntax of a programming language. So what is the syntax? Syntax means format of a programming language. Okay, means rules of the programming language more formally. Next, the knowledge of the programming semantics means, what is semantics? Semantics means the meaning of a program. Okay, suppose we are having a program, or we are having an algorithm. Okay, so semantic means it will tell, semantic will tells us, okay, semantic will tell us the meaning of each and every statement, or each and every word used in the programming or used in the algorithm. So means we must know the semantics as well as syntax also. Okay, so what is a programming language? First of all, we will discuss a programming language. Actually, a programming language is a set of instructions. Okay, a programming language is a set of instructions. The same definition can be given for the program. A program is also a set of instructions. But in the case of programming language, it is a superset of instructions, or a set of all the instructions related to that programming language. Okay, and a program is a subset of those instructions. Okay, or sub collection of those instructions that are available in a programming language. Okay, and we will that the program is also a passive entity, while a process, or while a running program is also is called active entity. Okay, or it is also called process. Now it is based upon a particular grammar. A programming language is based upon particular grammar. For example, if we are having any language like Hindi, English, Urdu, Arabic, okay, so there will be corresponding grammar. Okay, that will define the rules for developing that language. For example, in Hindi we are having Vyakaran, or in English we are having English grammar. Okay, or New Light in general English, or New Style in general English. Different types of names are given to the English grammar. Okay, next, for if we have the Urdu. For Urdu we are having the Firozul Logat. Okay, so Firozul Logat is the grammar for Urdu language. Okay, similarly for the C programming language, since this is the programming language, there exists a grammar, and that grammar is called context free grammar. Okay, and context free grammar is the chapter, okay, in uh, automata. Okay, or in computer theory of computer science, or automata, it is a chapter there. Okay, from here you can learn how a programming language and how the syntaxes of a programming language are developed. Okay, so context-free grammar are the grammar that are used to design and develop programming languages like C, C++, Java, etc., etc. Okay, the next, variable. So in this slide we will discuss something about the variable. So first of all, let us discuss what is a variable. A variable is like a container. A variable is like a container that can contains various values in a program, but only one value at a time. What I have said in this theory about the variable, I will prove this theory completely with the help of example on the next page, that is with the help of program. Okay, and I will tell you how a variable can contain only one value at a time, but during the program it can contain lots of values. Okay, a large number of values. Okay, so there may be updation in those values again and again, but at a time the variable will have only one value. Okay, for example, this is the bottle. This is a bottle. In this bottle there is water just now. Okay, and after removing the water, okay, so what I can pour in this, I can pour milk inside this. Okay, or after removing milk I can pour honey in this. Okay, so means at one time we are having only one thing, means either water or honey or milk or tea. Okay, these type of things. Okay, or we can also put some, store some juice in this. Okay, so variable is just like that, just like this bottle. Okay, or in programming terms, variable is a memory space. A variable is a memory space. Okay, in that space, okay, if we are storing some values, suppose we are storing 10, 20, 30 and anything, only one value, and after some time we are storing 20, so this 10 or the previous value will be overwritten by the updated value or the most updated value. Okay, now if 30 is coming, so this 20 will be again updated. Okay, now let us discuss now one more thing that we have to discuss here. A variable can contains only one value at a time. Okay, but it will have lots of values during the program. Now suppose there is a program, it is having thousands of lines, for example. Okay, so in starting, suppose a variable x is having value 20. Okay, and after some time it is having value 30, and after some time it is having value 40, and finally it is having value 50. Okay, so once it was having only it was having value 10. Okay, so what is happening with that, if we are printing that value or we are using that value, so printer will print or the system will print that value 20, and once we are updating that value 20 by 30, now if we are using that, so x will display the value 30. Okay, so that's why I'm saying it will have, variable can have different types of values. Okay, but at a time instant t it will have only one value. Okay, next, so this is the program to understand the basic knowledge or the basic theme about a variable. Okay, so hash include stdio.h, hash include conio.h, and then void main. Okay, so let me discuss why we are using hash include stdio.h. Stdio.h means standard input output header file. Hash include, it is the preprocessor directory. Preprocessor means before compilation. It means the before compilation this file will be included in our program. Okay, now I will tell you next. Hash include conio.h. Conio.h means console input output header file, and hash means preprocessor directive. So before compilation this file will be included in our program. Now why we are including these two files in our program? Because we are using here printf, and there is also possibility that we can use a scanf also. So if you are using printf or scanf function, so for system don't know what are the meaning of printf as well as scanf, because until and unless we are not using or we are not including stdio.h, so system doesn't know what is the meaning of printf as well as scanf. Okay, so to get the system familiar with the printf and scanf, so we will use stdio.h, means standard input output header file. If you are not using stdio.h, so printf and scanf function will not work uh, thoroughly. Okay, next we are having conio.h. Conio.h is used if we are using clear screen function or getcs function. So out of those, clear screen and getch function. What we are using here, we are using getch. That's why I'm using conio.h. Okay. So now let us discuss about variable and how what I said in starting of this lecture, that I will prove the theory that I have spoken about a variable. That variable can contain different values in a program, but only one value at a time. So I will prove that theory with this program. Okay. Now it is integer x. It is a variable x of type integer. Okay. Data type for this variable x is integer type. Now x equal to 10. What I am doing here, in first line I am declaring x as an integer, and here I am initializing x by 10. Okay. Now I am printing x, so 10 will be displayed. Okay. Now x equal to 20. Now what I am doing, x equal to 20, so the previous value, that was the 10. Okay, it will be overwritten by 20. Now 20 will be there, it will be the most updated value. Okay, if I'm using here value of x, so only 20 will work. Okay. Next, what I'm doing, again I'm updating x by 56. So now 20 is overwritten by 56. Now if I'm going to print this value, so what will be printed? So the final value of x is 56. So this 56 will be printed. So in this program, let us see what is happening. In this program, x is having different types of values at different time instant. Very firstly, it is having 10. Okay. Now again it is having 20, and then it is having 56. Okay. So you can see in this program, complete program, that during this course of program, the system or the variable x is having three values, but it is having only one value at a time. At time instant, at some time it is having 10, again it is having 20, and now finally it is having 56. Okay. So it was the it is supporting the theory of the variable. Okay. Next, now constant. Constant is something different from the variable. Okay. The constant is different from the variable. It cannot be changed during the program. Once any variable or anything is fixed as a constant, so it cannot be changed during the course of the program. This is the main theme or main theory or the main logic behind the constant. Okay. It will have one and only one value during the program. If we are trying to change the value, or we are trying to update the value of a constant, then what will happen, it will throw, or the compiler will throw an error. Okay, that the constant value cannot be changed. Okay. Next, a variable is made constant by constant keyword. What we are doing here, if we want to make any variable as a constant, or we want to put any variable as the constant, so how what will be the strategy for making a variable as constant? We need to write const keyword, const. Don't write constant, we just need to write const, because it is a keyword. Okay, so system know its meaning as well as it's working already. So we will put const. So the variable will be treated as the constant variable now, and now no updation is allowed in this variable. Next, updation is also not allowed in constant. Okay, any updation, if you will do any updation in the constant, so then it is not allowed. For example, now I'm taking again this bottle. Okay, suppose in this bottle I'm having water up to here. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm removing this water and taking the same water again. This thing is also not allowed in the case of constant. For example, the constant pi is having 3.14. So what I'm doing, I'm removing, or I'm updating this constant pi again. Pi equal to 3.14. The previous value was 3.14, and this next value is also 1.14, or the recent value is 3.14. So what is happening? System does not allow the updation, any updation in the constant value. That's why a system will throw an error that you can't modify any constant object. Okay. Now I will prove this theory with the help of an example. Okay, so let us move to the next slide. So this is the program for the constant. So here I'm taking hash include stdio.h, that I have already told. Why we are using stdio.h? Just because of printf function. Hash means preprocessor directive. Preprocessor means pre means before, processor means compilation in the case of C programming. Preprocessor means before compilation. So what is happening before compilation? This stdio.h means standard input output header file will be included in our program, or will be added with our program, or will be attached in our program. Next, hash include std hash include conio.h means the file conio.h means console input output header file will be included in our program in starting or before compilation. Okay, next what we are doing, we are taking a variable of type integer, that is the name of the variable is x here. So const, by const we are making this variable as the constant. Now x is constant, so no updation and no modification, nothing is allowed in this x once it is initialized. Now x equal to 10, x equal to 10, printf percent dx. Now x equal to 10, again what I'm doing, I'm not doing 10.1 10 point something or 11 point something or 20. What I'm doing, again I am changing, I am updating the same value in x. Okay, so what is happening in this x, so what is happening in this program, we are trying to update the value of x by the same value. Now as we know by the theory of constant that no updation in the case of constant is allowed. Okay, so compiler will throw an error at the time of compilation when we will compile this program. So it will throw an error that cannot modify constant object. Okay, it means we are not allowed to modify or we are not allowed to do any modification in the constant type things or constant object. Okay, next, keywords. Okay, so what are keywords? Keywords are those special words. Okay, keywords are those special words that are already defined by the compiler. Okay, the definitions as well as the working and meaning each and everything of keywords are already defined in the compiler, that is inbuilt. Okay, the color of keywords in turbo c++ compiler is white by default. Okay, means by default if you are using the turbo c++ compiler, so what will be the color, the color of keywords in turbo c++ compiler will be white for each and every keywords. Okay, now each keyword perform or carry out an special task, a special task. Okay, for each keyword that as we know that there are 32 keywords. Okay, each keyword will perform a separate task or the different task. Okay, or the special task. So there are 32 keywords in the programming language. Okay, so what is how you will remember that there are 32 keywords in the programming language or in C programming? So there is a formula, very simple formula, resembles these 32 keywords with the number of teeth in your mouth. Okay, it means that you must remember that how many teeth you are having. There are the same number of keywords in C programming. Okay, as we have 32 teeth in our mouth. Okay, so the similarly there are 32 keywords. So this is the concept for remembering or to learn the number of keywords in the C programming. Okay. Next, uh, so this is the list of C programming keywords. There are, as you know, there are 32 keywords. Okay, and first of all, we have auto. Auto means auto keywords means automatic. If you are not writing auto, then it is okay. Then variable is auto by default. Next, we are having break, and then case, and then character, constant, and then continue, and then default, and then double, do and then double, and then else, and then enum, and then external, then float, and for, go to, and then if, and then int, long, register, return, short, sign, size of, static, struct, switch, type def, union unsigned, wild, volatile, and while. Out of these keywords, okay, some of them are data types like char, integer, okay, and then float, okay, and then double also. These are the data types. Okay, next, one more thing, out of these keywords, some keywords are loops like do and while, and then for. Okay, and uh, some things are like uh, continue and break. So continue and breaks are the statements that will be used with the loops, while the break will be used with the help of inside switch. Okay, switch is the multi-selection, unconditional statements. Okay, type def is used for renaming something. Okay, now struct and union. Struct and union are used for structure and union data type, that are user defined data type. Okay, unsigned is used for providing heavy values, or providing or making the large range for a variable, or giving the large value or the large range for the variable. For example, if integer, simple integer is having, or signed integer is can take values from -3 to 768 to 3 to 767 including 0. And for unsigned int, so this value will be doubled, so it will be 65535 in the case of unsigned integers. Okay, so these are some references. Okay, uh, uh, in the case of books, you can go for ANSI. ANSI stands for American National Standard Institutes. Okay, American National Standard Institutes, C programming. Next, let us see, that is written by Yaswant Karnitkar. Okay, and let us see is for basic knowledge. Okay, if you are having little bit basic knowledge, so you must go for ANSI. And next is C programming by Dennis Ritchie. Okay, this is this programming, or this C programming has been written by the, or the book, this book has been written by Dennis Ritchie, the father of the C programming. Obviously, this is the best book of the programming language, or C programming language, because this is written by the developer of the C programming. But this is first of all, you must study letter C. If you are studying letter C, so it will be very easy for you to understand ANSI as well as C programming by Dennis Ritchie. It will be very easy for you. Next is internet. So for the internet, you can go for Geeks for Geeks. This is the website for searching the computer science contents. Next is w3schools.com. Next is Google, and then YouTube. Thanks for listening, bearing with me. All the best. Thank you.